No one knows your product and not just your benefits better than your users. So let's invite them to take a seat, kick off their shoes, and share what's on their mind. When you create a feedback cycle, or even just providing ways to receive feedback in any shape or form, you're listening to not just the good, but listening to the critiques as well. It's important. Create incentive for their feedback. I mean, yeah, people are going to give you feedback no matter what. And they might give you the feedback that you want to hear. They might give you honest feedback. But sometimes you also need to provide a way for them to be even more honest with you. Put the ball in their court. Give them some kind of incentive to just blur and share exactly what's on their mind. Once you've done that, once you've put the ball in their court and given them some kind of incentive, they're not just going to be wanting to share exactly what you think, what they think you want to hear. No, they're going to be sharing exactly what pain points your product has. They're going to be sharing exactly what they dislike, and they're probably going to be sharing a little bit more about what they like. Now, here's where the hard part comes in. After you're receiving this feedback, or even while you're receiving the feedback, depending on if you're a good enough personality to ask questions calmly, I want you to ask the hard questions. You know, ask the questions that you thought of during the process that we walked through in this micro course. Ask the questions that made you scratch your head when your spouse or roommate was walking through your landing page and didn't convert the way you thought they would. Ask them, why did they convert? Did they have the same problem that your spouse or roommate had? Ask them what you fail at. Ask them what you suck at compared to other products or other users, companies, people within your market. Now, you don't have to be scared with this question because they're already a user, and odds are they really enjoy what you provide. But I'm sure there's still ways that you fail in comparison. Now, also show them that you're listening. Take detailed notes, and then also continue the feedback loop. Write them back or email them or get them on a call when you've improved on some of the things that they've brought up in their feedback. But most importantly, don't make it hard for any user, whether they're just brand new to your front door and sitting on your doorstep or a seasoned veteran. Don't make it hard for them to provide feedback in any way. Now, this is going to look a little different depending on if you're a solo founder or depending on the size of your company or organization. You're going to have different hoops that you have to jump through. You're going to have different people who might be better at accepting certain feedback. But don't just bury your contact page in the 4th, 5th page that someone has to get to. Allow a way for people to provide feedback to you. It might just be a simple contact form. It might be a number to call. It might be an email. It might be social media. Use what works best in your market, and then also use what's best for you in order to provide time-sensitive responses to those people. For this lesson, I want to take a look at divjoy.com. It's not just a React code-based generator app, but it also provides a great example of what it looks like to make it easy to accept feedback no matter what stage you're in your process. Now, DivJoy does a great job at providing value and showing exactly what you get and how this app works. But at the very bottom, you see their mission. I love this because that's exactly what they're providing. They're showing what is their why. And when you click that, you not only get to read an awesome statement about who DivJoy is, but you very simply and very easily can contact them, not just by email, but by tweeting at DivJoy on Twitter. I think a mission page or your why page or an about page is a great place to host an email or your social media to be able to have users get in contact with you. Because if they're understanding exactly who you are and your why behind your product that you're using, then they're going to be a little bit more comfortable sharing some of that information, or maybe even asking some questions and providing feedback. And that feedback itself is something that you don't want to ignore. Exercise time. Now, back in Module 2, Lesson 2, we emailed 5 different people, 5 different users of your product, and we asked them some questions regarding benefits and features. Now, I want you to take one of those users, and I want you to ask them to coffee. Now, I'm being serious. I mean, this is a little bit different time, especially now in 2020, where you can't really ask anyone to coffee. You can't go anywhere. But tell them that you'll send them $5 and a gift card for the coffee shop of their choice in exchange for just 15 minutes of their time. Now ask them to jump on a 15-minute call. You could screen share, you could text them, you could just email them back and forth with a list of different questions. I don't really care, but use that incentive to get as much feedback as you can from that user, and that user is going to be valuable. Now there's a great guide in the resources section for this. Module about what it means to graciously accept feedback, how to do it, some tips on how to do it. I want you to take a look at that before you jump on that call or before you send that email. But more importantly, use this customer, value this customer, make this customer a friend. And we'll get more into that in the last lesson of this micro course. I'll see you soon.